Hi everyone, today we are joined by Doji, a changemaker. So Doji, tell us about yourself and why you are here today.
Hi, Sister Haja. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And I'm here from Bhutan mainly to attend this big event on Women Economic Forum, or GN. And basically, we are talking about women empowerment, she economy, and that is one subject that I have been always uh, following, something very close to my heart. So, therefore, I wanted to share some of my thoughts in this big conference of all these such a remarkable and incredible sisters here.
Okay, so you are written and spoke about rural Bhutanese women. What strength do you see in these women and their communities?
Yeah, so I think you are referring to my book called Escapist Awakening,
Yes, that
which
one.
was actually published quite some time back. It was published in 2013. And also in that story, I have described a situation starting from early 70s, so more than 30, 40 years ago. So now, as of today, maybe some of the things that I describe, difficult things that I describe for women and children in that book may not be now true anymore, but that's kind of a record. But in that book, I have described that life for a Bhutanese woman in the rural areas and children are very, very difficult. They, in a way, I mean, besides the poor economic situation, they also get exploited by people coming from the urban areas. So mainly that book is all about how the women in the rural areas get exploited by men coming from the rural areas. So that is the main story. And then, of course, in the story, actually, I try to make the one woman as my hero, as the protagonist. So she was born to a single mother. She doesn't know who her father is, but then through her own commitment, will, determination, she later on becomes the Bhutan's most successful businesswoman. So I make her from very poor, fatherless daughter to a most successful businesswoman in the country.
Yeah, how she become without father, but then
Yes.
she still can be a successful woman in this world, right?
Yes.
So I have read a little bit about you and I learned that you support the concept of gross national happiness. I'm sure there are many people out there who may not fully understand what is it, and I'm also a little bit not understand. And could you explain what gross national means and how it's connect to women empowerment?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Because Sister Haja, Bhutan, the country I come from, actually is globally outside the world is known as a country of happiness. And the
Yeah.
reason is, as you said, the gross national happiness. So gross national happiness is our development philosophy. So whatever we do in our country, whether it is a private or government, anything that we do has to be governed by this development philosophy. So here, in a simple word, what we mean by gross national happiness is basically development with values, meaning we don't want to pursue just the economic objectives. We don't, when you talk about development elsewhere, in any other country, mostly they are just talking about how to increase their GDP, gross domestic product, how to increase their revenue, and forgetting everything else like environment degradation, the quality time. So they focus rest of this thing and they just focus on the economic part. But gross national happiness, what we are saying is a development with values. It is the balanced approach to development. So there are actually four pillars. Four pillars. First is economic, like anywhere else.
Yeah.
Second is environmental conservation. Third is cultural preservation, and fourth is good governance. So these are the four main pillars of gross national happiness, and we have been following this development philosophy for the last 30, 40 years. And this philosophy was actually propounded, was actually envisioned by our fourth king in early 70s when he was as young as 16 years old. He coined this philosophy called gross national happiness. So we are really proud of that philosophy, and of course we are so thankful to our fourth king, His Majesty King Jigme Singye Wangchuk, for this giving this philosophy to the world.
Yeah, we also need to know about Bhutan also, right? Not just a sport country only. Because Bhutan like a very calm and a nice country, and like most people want to travel there, but I know there's a little rules if you are going there. Is it right?
Yes, it used to be. It used to be quite difficult to travel to Bhutan, mainly because we have a kind of a limited access. So even today, of course, we have improved. Today also, if you want to go to Bhutan from Malaysia, for example, we have two airlines. So the private airline called Bhutan Airlines, they have actually started a flight from Malaysia to Bhutan, but not every day. I think it's twice a month or something like that, but it's already started. So the other ways of going to Bhutan would be you either come from India, Delhi, Calcutta, then from Nepal is Kathmandu, from Bangladesh is Dhaka, then from Thailand is Bangkok, and then from Singapore, and now from Malaysia. So we have kind of a limited accessibility in the terms that, and only two airlines fly as of now. But then having said this, if you want, you can still come out with your own private jets and planes. Yeah, you can charter flights. So now things have become actually quite easy. What you have said is true maybe about 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now I think you can easily come there.
There's a nice place that you can take a picture, you can relax over there. Like in the generation, new generation, which is Gen Z, we call it like a healing place.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a nice, like the picture and the what you see in your front of your eyes is truly not at more. Like also the people is very kind and very welcome. I think like they also like welcoming, but then yeah, you still have like if you want to visit the country, you need to learn and know the rules, right?
Thank you so much, Haja. I mean, you said so many beautiful things of a country.
Because
I would like to
that.
invite you. I mean, be my guest.
You have to
Yes.
sponsor me.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what advice would you give to a leader out there who want to support women, empower women in a genuine and lasting way?
Yes, so in fact, my main reason for coming to Malaysia this time is, as I said earlier, to attend this conference on women empowerment. Yeah, and I had a speech titled "Role of Men in Women Empowerment." So that is my main message. And what I'm saying is, you know what, the World Economic Forum report of 2024 says that it will take another 134 years to achieve gender parity. And you know what? Even more worse is the UN is saying it will take 300 years. I mean, how can this be possible? Yeah, I mean, it is not just acceptable. So therefore, I bring to this conference as a message from the universe, because it looks like we humans are already kind of giving up on the gender equality. It's taking 134, 300 years. So I'm saying I bring three messages from the universe so that we will have a gender equality during our lifetime. Otherwise, even forget about you and me, even our children, our grandchildren will not live to witness a world where men and women enjoy the same opportunities and same prosperity.
Because back to our old generation, more people will like and see only male can lead everything. A woman should stay at kitchen below the male, and then like when a woman want to speak up, they have a border like, oh no, you cannot speak, which is only male can speak. So that's why we need to reset a new mindset.
Exactly. I totally agree. Now, to make it more sustainable, to fast track this gender equality, more than women, we men have to play a bigger role.
Yeah.
We men have to change your mindset, as you say. Now we men have to start questioning stories that we heard when we were growing up, like some toxic myths like male are superior, male dominance, male entitlement. As you said, female are supposed to be in kitchen, female have to be set behind. Like for example, there is also a very common kind of a sentence saying that behind every successful man there is a woman. So I'm asking, questioning, why behind? Why can't women be besides or in the front?
Yeah.
So the point here is, we are so with a mindset that women is always behind. You cannot be in the front. So that we need to change. We need to change this concept, this narrative, and make, for us men to help have the gender equality. And when we do this, we are not just helping women, we are helping ourselves. And actually, you know what? We are not helping men and women, we are helping the humanity. So therefore, we men have to play a more active role. Three things. We have three choices. One is, as a man, we have to step aside so that women can lead.
Yeah.
Second is, we have to step behind. We have to stay behind women, not that every successful man there is behind there is a woman. No, not that way.
Yeah.
We have to step aside and let women be in the front. Yeah. And the third one is step up, not as a savior, but as a co-creator, as an equal. Because when you talk about gender equality, sometimes we get a wrong mindset saying that we have to help women. No, if you help women, it's not going to be sustainable. What we have to do is we have to start humbling ourselves. We have to make way. That's it.
Yeah, because look back that our grandfather, both of us like thinking like a woman only can take care for our child, only can take care for the house, cannot handle the stress, cannot handle the professional way, and also their education also had to border, or they cannot learn something like, oh, this is only man can learn it, women no.
So these are the things that we need to change now. It's not true. Like, you know what, as of now, the general mindset is when a man works in the kitchen or when a man does laundry, we tell, man, I am helping my wife. I'm helping, Actually, it's not helping. Why should we help? It is your responsibility.
Yeah,
we men should own this. We should be also responsible to raise our children, wash clothes of our children, go and cook food for the family. So when we do this in the past, mindset is we are just helping. No, we are not helping. We have to own this. It is equal responsibility, isn't it?
Because you're already married, and then like why your wife only have to take care all of it?
Exactly.
Like, it cannot be like your husband and then you have to work and then give money and then like, oh, this is my wife, will do later, will cook later, will clean this later. Like, you're already married. Like,
yes.
Oh my God, why you should do this?
Yes, we need to change this. I want this to be changed.
Yeah.
So I'm telling, these are the things that our universe wants to do. Our Almighty God wants to do this. And it is not for women only, not for men. It is for the humanity. Because just now, the gender inequality that we have, I feel it is the biggest disgrace to the whole humanity. We men and women, especially the men, we have failed. We have failed our women, we have failed ourselves. Most important, we have failed the humanity. So we need to correct this.
Because sometimes like if wife asks her husband like, I'm wanna work, I cannot stand at home, but then sometimes husband will reply or react like, okay, if you want go to work, but then if you back to home, you still have to do the house thing, like clean. But then I feel like husband also work, and then why cannot do the same thing? Like if wife can, then why husband cannot? Like you already married, then if you have a child, that one like both of you,
yes.
Not the only wife child. And then,
it's so true.
Yeah, even like back this generation also have the same thing. Like, okay, women cannot, even though like women work, but still have to take care. Like husband will not do that. Even though like at her mother house, like, oh no, it's woman task, not man task. Okay, so
So true, I agree.
yeah. So our next question is, what advice would you give to young father who want to be involved that but are afraid it might affect their career?
Young mother?
Young father.
Father?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my advice to young fathers is basically we need to change our mindset. Now we need to start to, for example, raise our sons who cry. Because normally crying is associated with daughters. Now no more. We have to also start raising our sons who cry, and daughters, more important, who roar. So daughters are supposed to be crying, but I'm saying no, we need to also now raise daughters who roar. Yeah. So I mean, basically, it's about not helping your wife, but basically helping yourself and for everyone and for the humanity. Because when we work as a true partner, husband and wife, then you can achieve things much more. Like for example, what I'm saying is one husband and one wife is not equal to two. What I'm saying is one husband and one wife. 1 plus 1 is 11.
Yeah.
It is more than 2. So if we work very closely in a true partnership, we can achieve much things better, much more and much more sustainable. So I want the young fathers to adopt this mindset. You go all out and let your wife or your daughters or your sons do the same thing. We really need to do a lot, especially from a male side, because UN and World Economic Forum, they are saying it will take us minimum 134 years to achieve gender equality. I think this is so not right. It's not right.
Okay, if your daughter see this now, what your message you want to give to her if she will get the challenge, because we don't know like about the future yet, but then if she feel like afraid to be step away from a male, I think I maybe like step one more step than a male, because I know you have a daughter, right?
Yes.
So what is the message you want to give to her?
Yes, my dear daughter, I have a very good news for you. You are going to have a life after 5-10 years totally different from what your mother and your grandmother had. You know that your mother and grandmother had a difficult life as a woman, because as a woman they have been discriminated, there were some injustices. So now your father is trying to make this movement, saying that we need to change this. We cannot wait for 134 years. I'm saying we need to do it if in 134 days, if not definitely in 134 months, which is going to be 11 years. So therefore you have a better future, better time than what your mother and your grandmothers had. So this is what I wanted to share, a good news for you.
Oh, what such a lovely message. I feel like I'm already as your daughter. I claim it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, before we end this interview, can you share me or tell me what's in Bhutanese language to say thank you?
Kadinchela.
Kondichela.
Kadinchela.
Kondichela.
Yes.
Okay, in Malay, in Malaysia, we say terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Yeah.
Terima
Oh my
kasih.
God, great. Kondichela.
Kadinche.
Kandiche.
Yes.
Okay. What such insight from Doji, and remind us that real change happens when men and women lead together. Thank you, Doji, for joining us. Hope you will come again here as a holiday, not for event anymore.
Okay. Thank you so much, sister. Daughter,
Yeah.
daughter Haja.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Say bye bye.
bye.